Thank you for watching the IMAX show. It is I, Max, host of the IMAX show. And I just want to touch base on a few things from yesterday's Oscar nominations announcement. I did a video on my initial real-time sort of reaction to it. And I mean real-time as in I was seeing the nominations for the first time on camera. The, announcement happened yesterday morning and I didn't do it till the night time. But I just want to do a general thoughts. Not too crazy, not too in-depth or anything. I don't have anything revolutionary or very insightful to say. And I'm sorry if you can hear anime outside. My wife is watching anime, and the dog's chewing on a chew toy. So, pardon them. I know, I should just kill them both. So, the first thing I want to talk about is the biggest thing they've been talking about for this year's Oscars, is that Sinners broke the record of all-time nominations for a single film. And it beat All About Eve and something else and Titanic. I forget what that second one is. They all had 14. Sinners has 16. Now, I don't mind that Sinners got a lot of nominations. I don't think it quite needs 16 or deserves 16. 10, sure. But 16 is kind of a lot, and it's not that great of a movie to be this big record-shattering nomination thing that it is. I'm happy for everybody involved. It's a cool accomplishment, and it's not like they made this horribly bad movie that shouldn't get any attention whatsoever or something. But I just want to point out a couple things. The VFX it's nominated for. There's much better VFX throughout the year than this, and I thought the VFX here, not that great. There's just some fire, and I don't know if you know this, but fire is like one of the hardest things to animate, along with water and people, if you were like to do a CGI person. Pretty hard stuff, and I haven't really quite seen it done convincingly yet, and Sinners is no exception. So I think there was a butt ton of other nominations that deserve this more. And then production design, it also got nominated for. I don't know about that. There's 2 locations, a big barn basically, and half a street. That there's a scene or 2 that takes place, and there's a church. That's pretty much it. I think there's a lot other period pieces that did a lot more scenery, a lot more environments, a lot more production designing, and did them really excellently too. And I'm not saying Sinners did a bad job at designing these sets. Not at all. I'm just saying there's only like 2 or 3 of them. Shouldn't we give this award or nomination to something that had a lot to do and a lot to work with and put out really great work? I think yes. Is that controversial? I want to walk back something I said yesterday about Sinners' supporting actress. I want to make sure I say her name right, and I'm still going to butcher it. Wunmi Musaku. I said she wasn't in that movie a whole lot, and that's partly true, but she does actually play a significant role for Smoke. Like it's his ex-wife, estranged wife, or something. I forget which, or ex-girlfriend. I'm sorry, I saw the movie once or twice, and both times a long time ago, relatively speaking. But she plays an important part for him. And same kind of goes with supporting actor. Maybe even less so, or more so. I'm not sure which. Because Delroy Lindo is like amazing. He's great in everything he's ever in. But again, he's barely in it. He's in it less than she is, and he doesn't really play a significant role in the story. That's really what I want to say about Sinners' 16 nominations. And then since we're talking about a bunch of nominations, 13 nominations for One Battle After Another. That's a whole other video on my take. Actually, a whole other video on each of those film Sinners and this. But let's just stick it to the nominations. Sound. It got best sound. I don't know why. Needless, I don't have anything else to say. Same with production design. Like, it's a modern film and it doesn't take place anywhere exquisite or fantastical. So I don't get it. I'm also not a production designer, so I mean, they all look like regular places. And again, I'm not discrediting the work. It looks good. I'm sure these were all mostly shot on sets and studio lots and stuff. I don't know, maybe not. but either way. And I did mention this yesterday. I will sing this song until the day I die. Teyana Taylor is not a great actress, and even if she were, she still doesn't deserve the nomination for Best Supporting Actress because she's only in the first 20, 30 minutes of a 162-minute film. 2 hours and 42 minutes, and she's in maybe 20 or 30 minutes of it straight. Not even sprinkled in here where it feels like it's more. And I know people are going to say that she was a driving force behind. You kind of feel her presence throughout the film. But the performance, we're talking about the performance. Not good and not enough screen time. I don't know if there should be a set number on screen time, but 20, 30 minutes out of 162 minutes doesn't seem nearly enough. And then supporting actor, Benicio del Toro, awesome, but he's kind of sleepwalking in this role, I thought. And again, he's maybe got just as much, if less, amount of screen time than Teyana Taylor has, but he's obviously the better performer, but I don't think he should be nominated. And I do want to point out, this is kind of cool, that it rarely happens in one movie where there are two nominees for the same category in the acting. So you have two people in the same movie in the one category. And not only do we have that this year, but we have two. And there's two in Best Supporting Actress and Sentimental Value. So I don't know if that's ever happened, if anybody's ever said that or looked at that there's two categories, Best Supporting Actor, Best Supporting Actresses, that have two nominees from the same film. I think that's interesting. All right, and then we have 9 nominations for Marty Supreme. I'm so happy that production design got in there. I don't know why I ever doubted, even though I did put it in my predictions last minute, because it just feels so real and so lived in. I thought it was great. And I was surprised that it got Best Casting, only because it put Kevin O'Leary in there. You know how Hollywood hates billionaires, even though they're all millionaires and billionaires. And they hate anybody who's even remotely adjacent in support of Trump. And I know Kevin O'Leary, only on the fiscal stuff, the taxes and finances and stuff, he's on Trump's side of. So I was surprised, but I am pleasantly surprised. I'm glad it's in there. I don't think Kevin O'Leary should tank the nomination altogether, and they stuck it out. They grew a backbone and nominated for Best Casting anyway, so props. All right, the 9 nominations for Sentimental Value. I haven't seen it, and it getting nominated for Best Film Editing makes me pretty curious about it, because it didn't seem like that kind of movie that would play with time or structure, or if it's some sort of action movie that there's a lot of editing. Sometimes these nominees for editing are just the most editing. And the casting, again, I haven't seen it. It's pretty, like I said, I already talked about it, the 2 nominees per category there. I think that's pretty cool. All right, and then 4 nominations for Begonia. I was surprised by all but one, Emma Stone. I mean, she's been nominated 5 times. This is her sixth time, so not surprised. But I'm surprised it got screenplay. I'm surprised it got score. That score is like thinking it's the most epic movie ever, and it's just 99% of it is in a kind of a crappy house. So I'm not sure. Maybe that's the point, because I know the story is bigger than that. But and the writing, I just didn't know. I didn't think it was that great. It really didn't have a whole lot to say, in my opinion, and it felt pretty stagnant. The whole movie is pretty stagnant in general. So I'm pretty disappointed that it got nominated for anything except Stone. Even though she doesn't not have much space to work with, she's a pro and she's convincing always. So we'll give her that. 4 noms for F1. I'm actually happy about this. I know everybody's mad that F1's getting attention, especially for Best Picture. But it's so, pardon my pun, but it's so well-oiled. It's a well-oiled movie machine. It just takes me back to Top Gun Maverick by the same director, where it just feels old school, very uncynical, even though F1 does kind of have a slight, subtle, sad ending if you think about that character for long enough. All right, and then 4 nominations for Train Dreams. I was so worried this was going to get snubbed altogether. Seemed like it was an overlooked movie, and then it just started gaining traction and traction and traction. I was getting so pleased because I think it's the best film of the year, and it's my first or second favorite film of the year as well. Excuse me. I don't like the original song, though, for it. The lyrics are kind of strange and does not suit the movie. The sound sure does, but not quite the lyrics. So Yeah. All right, and then four nominations as well for The Secret Agent, another foreign film nominated that I haven't seen, and it's been nominated for four categories, so I can't speak of those, but I can sort of talk about the actor, Wagner Mora. I have only seen a few scenes from my dad watching, what is it, Narcos, and he just doesn't do much. I don't see any work in his eyes. I don't see any work in his brows or his voice. I don't understand the Wagner Mora thing. I think people just think he's hot or something. It's the mustache. It's the power of the stash, probably. All right, and then two nominations for Blue Moon, and I'm so stoked for this. I knew Ethan Hawke was going to get nominated, just because he's been nominated twice before, and he's just so freaking good in it. He's freaking good in everything he does, even the worst movies that he's in. He's all aboard. And what I was surprised though was screenplay. Yeah, is a great script though, so I shouldn't be surprised. It's just that it's not, the Oscars don't really actually try to do what's best. It's all politics. I don't mean like left right politics. I mean like how it works. I scratch your back, you scratch mine, kind of thing. All right, and then there was zero noms for No Other Choice. I haven't seen it, but everybody was buzzing and raving about it all year since its release. So I was shocked that it didn't get at least just foreign feature. And I thought it would get Best Adapted Screenplay. I thought it might get Best Actor and whatnot, and it didn't. Yet, again, I haven't seen it, though, so we'll see. And then zero noms for, I abbreviated it. Oh, The Testament of Anne Lee. I still haven't seen this, but it's been one of my most anticipated films of the year. I think we're going to go see it this weekend. And I know it didn't make a lot of the shortlist, but I still hoped it would make some other categories and that weren't on the shortlist list, and it wasn't. And it just seems it's a musical, it's a period piece, and it's about a woman. So I thought the Oscars were going to eat it up, but not too much, because I heard it's kind of out there. So yeah. And then zero, I'm going to butcher the pronunciation, zero noms for Nouvelle Vague. Vague? New Wave in French. It's another film by Richard Linklater, who did Blue Moon, and it's about the most influential, arguably one of the most influential films ever made, Breathless, in 1960 France. I thought it would get at least cinematography. That thing looks like it was shot in 1960, just about. It's cut in a modern way, but visually it looks like it could have been from the 60s. It's amazing. And I just thought it was so playful and whimsical and light and just a good time. And it got rave reviews and stuff, and I'm just shocked that it got nothing. I would have hoped it would just got cinematography at the very least, and it didn't. But best directing would have been earned. Best casting would have been earned. The people that play some of these real life figures are like spot on. It's crazy. Godard and Belmondo. It's like, oh my gosh. Even Jean Seberg, played by what's her name? Zoe Deutch. They're so spot on. Anyway, that's probably my first or second favorite the film of the year with Train Dreams. I wouldn't say it's one of the first or second best films of the year, but it deserves some nominations. Anyway, let's talk generally. And then let's go back down to visual effects. The Lost Bus. I know I was talking about fire is hard to pull off in CGI, but the fire in The Lost Bus is atrocious, and the whole movie is a forest on fire. So you see a lot of bad CGI fire. And I'm not just saying bad CGI. It's not there yet. Like I said, so many better visual effects movies this year. And Jurassic World Rebirth, they look good. The CGI looks good in those films. The problem is it looks too good. It looks better than the real life things we see. So it's kind of an eyesore. But if you were to put it in a CGI environment or a real life environment without people, it would look amazing, and does look amazing. But I'm also surprised because no Jurassic World movie has ever gotten this nomination. That's why I didn't put it in mine. All right, I'm sorry. Best Original Song is the dumbest, most pointless category in all of Oscar history, maybe any awards history that I know of, because we're talking about films here, not music. And most of these songs are either just in end credits, and I just mean in general, not just this year, but I don't. That could be true too. I think only two of these that I recognize are inside the movie, not just end credits or made for the movie on a soundtrack separate from the actual film. But yeah, it's just so stupid. everybody complains about how long the Oscars are, but and they won't get rid of this category. But they get rid of best sound mixing and best sound editing to be best sound, and then they add best casting. Speaking of which, another kind of pointless category, if you ask me. Not quite as pointless as best original song, but pointless nonetheless, installs the clock. And I hate it. And there's other things that the ceremonies could do to, it would be fine if these categories were in there if they also just trimmed, or if they at least just trimmed off some of this masturbatory, self-congratulatory stuff. It's really obnoxious. And best makeup, The Smashing Machine, I don't get it. I haven't seen it. It's out on HBO this weekend, so hopefully I'll watch it soon. Based on the trailer, I mean, they just did some stuff on The Rock's face, and that's it, and just put too much makeup on Emily Blunt. And then The Ugly Stepsister, I haven't seen, but we had Shudder for October. We always do the free trial in October. And I went to the Shudder channel where it just plays whatever movie randomly, like it's on cable. And it was, no matter when I put it on, it was always on because I would put it on and leave the house so people thought we were home or the dog had something to listen to. And it was always The Ugly Stepsister, no matter what. It's bizarre. But I heard good things from that film. And best costume design, I laughed at it yesterday. It's Avatar, Fire and Ash. It's CGI. Are they giving the best costume to the black bodysuits with all the dots and sensors on it, and the little mics they have attached? It's all CGI costumes. That's not fair. You can make any costume on CGI. It's a slippery slope. I hope that we do not fall down. All right, and then best supporting actress. I think I said this yesterday. Amy Madigan for Weapons. I don't know if she's the top 5 of the year. I think she's in my top 10, but below the 5 line. I'm just glad, though, that a role like this and a movie like Weapons got nominated. The Oscars, the Academy, they need to overlook their genre biases, like for real. Not everything has to be elevated drama. Just look at everything else, please. Look at all genres. And the last thing I guess I have to say is lead actress Kate Hudson. Again, I haven't seen Song Blue. Couldn't care less. Probably will never watch it. But she's just in such bad movies. I can't imagine she could have been that good, especially over a lot of people from this year. But I know she got nominated for American Music. What was that? Almost Famous. And I haven't seen that since high school. I was not crazy about it. But yeah, I mean, I hope she's good. I hope she deserves this. You guys let me know if she deserves this over hundreds of other people. Is she top 5 of the year, really? I don't know. Do people just think she's hot or something? I don't know, man. I'm done talking. I don't know. Tropical Splash packet doesn't taste anything like Tropical Splash.
Why are there so many movies?